We've got another exciting night of Overwatch action coming at you from the D9 Community Tournament playoffs here this evening with a Tier 3 finals matchup between Saga fighting D9CT and Guardians Memento Mori. I am joined here in the broadcast booth by Zoc Hamwell here tonight.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here. And by the way, I just have to say right off the bat, I got to say congratulations on winning Producer and Caster of the Year.
Thank you.
Big props, man. I'm clapping in my chair. It's no one else deserved it. Honestly, it could have gone to nobody else. So, congrats, man.
Thank you. Thank you very much. It's an absolute honor. And with that, let's head into Night Market.
I really wouldn't be surprised if we see both teams showing Ryan Zarya. Tim is a phenomenal Zarya. King of Raven seems to be very strong on the Reinhardt. I think, and of course, D9CT did protect the Reinhardt. So I think it's, as we're seeing here, pretty meta as far as tanks and supports are going. You got the Lucio Moira, Ryan Zarya showing for both sides. Junkrat on both sides as well. But the difference being Game Ruler on that Tracer and Hairball.
And it is going to be Saga getting their toes onto point first with that quickness. Game Ruler trying to circle all the way back around, see if he can perhaps find a support. Turns his attention onto a Junkrat, but it is Hairball coming up with first blood. He does get taken down as Game Ruler was on that flank, but Cryo Overlord managed to find that pick onto the Moira. So no more healers here on the side of Saga. And with that, they're going to find it very difficult to push onto this objective. Guardians already entrenched, already getting percentage going up in their favor. Absolutely made life easy on the rest of his team. Now for the second engagement, King of Raven starts off with first blood. Make that 2 kills coming through for Raven. Hairball found one of himself, and once again, Guardians able to make short work of Saga here on the defense. 33% and counting on the board. Hairball's got data online ready to go. They're going to have a tire online soon. Earthshatter also available.
A big Y-fest, as they say.
Oh, Cryo opening us up strong, and I don't think Saga's going to get a chance to press Y here. They did not see that tire coming whatsoever. Caught him completely blindsided. Finding 3 kills, making cleanup easy here, and with only spinning the 1 ultimate, Guardians able to win that fight hand.
There, they keep the economy, and they kind of bring it a little bit closer to their side, actually.
Well, and I think the speed at which Guardians is taking these fights is actually going to work in Saga's favor here. Perhaps a little blessing in disguise, giving them maybe an extra fight here. And they're going to open up with a good kill onto Raven. And that is just going to open this door wide open. And there's nothing to block this shatter coming through. 3 people come down. Pulse Bomb coming out to try to find that kill onto Fox. But Android Gamer had stole that final blow from him. Nevertheless, Saga looking like they're finally able to get some traction here on the objective. Android Gamer coming up with 2 good kills in 1 set of Storm Arrows. Nice shooting coming out of that Hanzo.
That was huge. Unfortunately, this is 1 fight territory still for Memento Mori if you're the D9CT. Not a good situation to be in.
And Saga had to spend a bunch of ultimates to make that happen. They just had the Graviton Surge, which they're going to spend early, but the Sound Barrier does come out of Austin, and then they're going to turn on and counter with a nice Earthshatter, finding the Moira, finding the Zarya. Is there any follow-up, though? No! King of Ravens gives his life, trying to go in and find that kill. And in the end, it is Saga standing strong despite all of the ultimates coming out of Guardians there. They're not quite able to pick up those final blows. They're not able to close it out.
Weathered the storm beautifully. And I think a lot of that was Korbeck on the Brig. I think he provided a lot of armor packs and Inspire healing.
Nice Earthshatter to start things off as Guardians try to come back in, and they just get hit by that Shatter. The Reinhardt was just hiding around main pillar, and is cleanup from there, able to find those kills.
Hanzo using those sonar arrows.
Yeah. Rally starting things off here for Saga as they're looking to hold off just one more time. Potential final fight territory here. Nothing online for Guardians as they're trying to push in. Coalescence coming out early on the side of Saga. You've got Android trying to flank around to that backside, see if he can find anything. Hairball was looking for something as well, but Tenzin coming up with the better end of this deal, finding the hammer onto both Hairball and King of Ravens. Game Ruler picks up a kill onto the DPS counterpart. And with those good opening kills coming out of Tenzin on that Reinhardt, Saga able to hold on here. They're going to win Night Market 100-99.
That was big pick, was huge. I think that might have been the game changer, honestly.
Underway here in Control Center, it is Guardians finding that first all-important light area there, getting that high ground advantage, forcing the members of Saga to come on to them. But they are willing to oblige. As you can see, Raven kind of caught out in an awkward position there. He is going to charge back into the safety of his team, running up into that light area. He gets chased down by the opposite tank, but Cryo comes up with a pair of kills. Raven able to find one of his own. Hairball on that Reaper comes up with one as well. Make that 2. And Guardians able to come away with it in the end and finally get some percentage going up in their favor. Man, what a back and
very smartly maneuvers the charge to allow that bubble to go ahead and take down so that he can ultimately secure the kill. That pulls Tinson out of position as well as he goes to try and go after his counterpart, and all of that just really worked in the momentum of Mori's favor on that fight.
Well, Hairball opening things up earlier, he just took a nice little stroll all the way around the outside and found himself in the backline. Took out that Ana. Oh, and Cryo Overlord coming again with another 3-man Riptire. Coming out of that Junkrat with that. It's just easy cleanup as they proceed to push forward and find those eggs. But there's quite a few on the side of Saga here as they're looking to push back in. Tinson with that Earthshatter ready to go. Graviton Surge coming out from Timmy to start things off, though. Raven finds a kill, and Cryo coming up with a pick on the back of that as well. Tinson not able to escape. Hairball finding him as he tries to charge out of there. Turning his attention onto that Ana. Finds that kill. 67% and counting here for Guardians.
Ultimately, the support wasn't quite there this time for the Dick-Dicks, and ultimately Guardians do get it.
Well, now Hairball's going to go ahead and throw that Death Blossom to open things up on this attack, and he does find one with that to be able to clean up on Tinson as well. No more Reinhardt here for Saga. They desperately try to flee back into spawn, but they're not going to have any success with that. Hairball coming edges.
It's been said before. Hairball's the best Reaper in Tier 3. It has been. It's said on Twitter a few times, and living up to it right here, 100-0.
Well, Saga's going to put Android on that Reaper this time, coming out with Game Ruler back on the Tracer. Guardians, on the other hand, we're running Doomfist Pharah. So we're getting a little pharmacy here coming into Gardens. One round to figure out who's going to start us off with the 1-0 lead in this Tier 3 finals. Saga getting their feet planted first. Guardians can be forced to run in and try to dislodge them, and Hairball goes in with the punch, finds the kill on the skate action. No more Moira, no more big chunk of heals. Cryo Overlord picks up one as well, but Saga answers right back, finding a pair of their own. Cryo's going to pick up a third, throw the bounce in their favor. Rez coming up. So it is 5v3. Make that 5v2 here on point in favor of Guardians. Just trying to clean up this Zarya. They're going to do just that. Get some progress going, get some percentage building in their favor.
So just, it's a game of millimeters, and we saw it there.
And it absolutely is. They're going to open up with trading DPS members here as Saga tries to cross the bridge. Oh, now skate action super low. Overlord's going to find that shot, turning his attention onto that Zarya. She's less than half. She's going to run right into the Doomfist. Goldfish sent back to spawn. Guardian still in complete. We have that Barrage online. We're going to have Earthshatter coming up online and ready to go as well. Meteor Strike and Graviton Surge not too far behind here for Guardians as they're looking to defend. Oh, stunned out of the Barrage. What an excellent play coming out of Android on that McCree. Able to get the kill with the flashbang, but they lose Corbeck as well. So 5v5 coming in. Game Ruler's going to throw that off. Coalescence coming out from skate action as they look to aggress onto point. And Saga able to steamroll right over this thing with a quickness and get this thing flipped right on over. They did.
I had the courtesy of seeing Overlord the whole time setting up. It still caught me by surprise. Big play by Android.
Huge. We're getting a little duel from Hairball and Tracer in the backline. Oh, we might get the big smash. We get it. The Graviton Surge, the Meteor combo. 3 members of Saga hit the dirt instantly. It is clean up from here. CryoQuick winning the duel with the competing Moira. Android Gamer with a nice little moral victory, getting that kill onto Cryo. Oh, getting a kill onto the Mercy as well. Android taking out the pharmacy single-handedly. He's going to turn around and drop his daddy on the point, but there's nothing but shields waiting for him. Hairball on that backline on that Doomfist trying to make something happen, but he can't escape. He took too much damage and was not able to get out. Android Gamer goes down, but Saga still has the man advantage here, so they're looking to storm back onto point. 85% in counting on the board here for Guardians, but the kill feed lighting up all blue. You do still have this pharmacy combo in here trying to make life difficult. Overlord coming up on that Barrage. Oh, but Game Ruler coming back on the Pharah of his own. And 2 rockets takes down both the Mercy and the Pharah. Saga able to get this thing flipped over, and they've built themselves a little bit more ults. Gotten themselves right back in this thing. Chance before they answer right back. Cryo Overlord winning that air duel. That's just going to open things up. He's got the barrage online ready to go. Oh, Graviton Surge was out! And he's not able to get that barrage off to help save his team. Instead is the Graviton Surge catching 4 members of Guardians as they tried to aggress in through light side. Kills lightened up. Goldfish coming up with the huge ultimate there in that engagement.
On each side, yeah.
Yep.
That barrage or that shatter, one of those is going to have to win out to help their team win, I think. And that's going to be the question here.
Either of which can begin changing that. Shatter comes out but finds nothing but the shield of Raven. Now here comes that barrage from Overlord. Can he find anything with it? Oh, he gets one, but they lose their main tank. Actually, Overlord goes down trying to drop that, and they manage to get the kill onto Saga's main tank. So it is Guardians with the Reinhardt here. Rez coming through. They've got their Pharah back in the sky, trying to put some attention on that Lucio, but Android picking up too, throwing his Deadeye down, looking to sway this thing back the other way, turning his attention on to Raven, and the Reinhardt goes down. No more Reinhardt here for Guardians, and we are in final fight territory. This McCree looking to swing things back the other way, gives Saga the edge. He's going to drop, but the reinforcements are there. Timmy is there with just a speck of health. Game Ruler comes up with that kill, and Saga walks away with the victory here on Lijiang Tower. 1-0 here in our Tier 3 finals.
That was a slugfest. Well, let's start off with Protects, actually. We have a Protect of Moira coming out from the Dick and a Protect of Reinhardt coming out from Memento Mori. Interesting to note, Dick protected Reinhardt last map, and now Memento Mori doing it as well. Bans, though. Memento Mori banned Sigma, and Bastion was banned by the Dick, so we'll have no Sim, no Bastion for this duel on Anubis. On defense for the Dick, you've got Game Ruler on the Soldier. You've got Android Gamer. He had such a big impact on map 1. He's over there on the Junkrat. Double shield for the defense, but the new double shield of Ryan Arisa. Ryan Zarya, of course, coming out for the attack. Watch out for Wickedly Crazed on that Ana too. Definitely a strong pick from her. That's one of her strongest heroes, so it'll be interesting to see how that utility gets worked in.
Hairball is indeed switching over to that Reaper as the gates open, coming off of that Soldier pick. And Guardians just running straight to the objective, not trying to take that top platform. They want control of this point. With that, Saga trying to fall back. The 2 tanks have fallen back into the mini room, but they've gotten separated from their team a bit. But nevertheless, Android Gamer able to find success, coming up with 4 huge picks on that Junkrat before finally getting taken out. Now, Hairball might have done enough damage to answer this thing back. Has he? I believe he has! Hairball answering right back. They just have a Soldier on point to deal with, but there's only 2 members of Guardians here. Is it going to be enough? They've got 1 tick already. Just the Reinhardt, Lucio has made it back on a point, so 3 members of Guardians here make that 4, and it is going to be enough for them to clean up. Man,
that
anyway.
makes sense. No, the logic follows. I just wasn't expecting it. It's brilliant. And look at this Maywall here to set up the position for Memento Mori.
Oh, and Hairball goes down 99% towards a Death Blossom. That could have been the ticket to a lightning fast time here, but in the end, it is going to be getting sent back to spawn. It is going to be Guardians forced to find another answer and forced to reset. Hairball dying with that big ultimate online. That was a great opening pick coming out of Game Ruler.
Android, of course, has that retire. That's a huge deterrent right now. If you're Memori, that could spell disaster on a point push here. But ultimately, it's a risk you're going to have to take.
Well, we'll see if
time bake is crucial.
Yeah, we'll see if they can get Hairball in position. Oh, Earth Shatter coming out early from Tenzin. That finds 2, and immediately those 2 drop and sent back to spawn. Hairball trying to throw that Death Blossom in. He gets nano boosted even, but is not finding any success. Korbeck able to get that Immortality Field down, and he gets taken out of that. 2 ultimates wasted. Skate action with the late Coalescence just to make sure everybody stays topped off and alive. And Saga holding on here on the...
Gets switching over to the Moira there. Just the timing of that does line up well as far as ult economy if you're Memento Mori. Skate action just using that Coalescence there. Going to be kind of equal playing fields.
We got a super sound barrier coming out as the amplification matrix comes out from the other side. That forced the members of Guardians to jump off that platform and then get stuck in this weird spot. Raven trying to throw an Earth Shatter onto the objective, but was not able to find anything. And now you've got Saga with this great positioning here. Android Gamer going to invest the tire in, finds Wicked, follows it up with another kill onto Hairball.
Game Ruler on the Reaper. He's definitely working himself into the kill feed. For a while there, it was all Android on the side of DPS, and Game Ruler with that Reaper really getting a ton of value right now.
Well, Guardian's going to open up with their one and only ultimate available at the moment, and that's going to be that Coalescence. Lamp coming out as well. Game Ruler trying to invest that Death Blossom, and he whittles him down enough for Goldfish and Android to come up with 3 kills, though, despite not finding any final blows personally. He had done enough damage for Saga to hold on here, get the kill feed lighten up in their favor. Just 2:33 on the clock.
Shatter a Coalescence. Those Coalescences from Skate Action have been absolutely huge of late. So, again, this is a strong defense coming out from D9CT.
Game Ruler trying to work his way into the back line here as this next engagement breaks out. He does find the kill before Timmy was able to take him out. Tintin coming up with a good pair of kills on the objective, finding a nice charge onto the counter Reinhardt, and then just starts swinging onto the support line of Guardians. And Guardians really struggling here on point B.
Important to note is that what could always happen is they could use the Death Blossom, force out the Coalesce or the Immortality Field, and then hit that Grab Dragon. But Android Gamer's just going to shut the door early, man.
But say they're not going to be able to drop anything if they get hit by a tire and 2 of their team members sent back to spawn before they can even approach. Gameler follows it up with a nice kill onto Raven, but I think they need to reset even quicker than that. Raven probably begging for a quick death. 90s, and you've got 6 of those dots checked off and ready to go in that top corner there for Guardians. So they definitely have the tools to make it happen. And Android Gamer once again opening things up with a huge.
It's kind of impossible with Android, shutting down this fight before it starts every time.
Supercharger coming out on the backside. Earthshatter comes out in response from Tintin, though, and that finds 4. They do respond back with Dragon's Cryo, getting that across the point, and it manages to find 1, but Android Gamer bouncing right back, taking those heals out. No more heals here for the side of Guardians, and the overtime wick is burning. They don't have anybody to keep them topped off. It was just Overlord left on point. Raven goes down as well, and Saga will hold on here on point B. No ticks picked up for Guardians. Well, Guardians showing us the Reinhardt Diva here on the defense. Haven't seen a whole lot of Diva here in this tournament. They're going to be using the double span and Junkrat and Farah. Oh, Hairball starting us off early. Getting a nice pick on the Goldfish before they're able to get in. And that's the stage you want to set. That's the message you want to send here on Guardians on the defense.
Absolutely. And running that ball, Mr. Goldfish, on D9CT, obviously what they're going to try and do here is try and knock Memento Mori off the high ground with that ball, and then capitalize on the chaos ensuing. But
Goldfish
already... Yeah, go ahead, sorry.
Yeah, no, Goldfish already get pursued. Both the DPS know he's there. Cryo been putting down a lot of spam onto him. They finally turn their attention down to the Mega where the front line of Saga is trying to enter in. Those adaptive shields come out as he just storms right over Guardians. Doesn't seem to have much effect as they are still standing. And for the moment, I say that. Cryoquake goes down. Raven goes down. Game Ruler coming in big, finding the kill onto both those DPS, finding that headshot onto the Farah. That's something you love to see out of your Tracer, picking that Farah out of the sky.
Oof.
On the back of that.
This is going to be a massive time bank that D9CT are going to have to work with now, all for just one.
It's coming out not too far behind that. Android coming off that Reaper going over to the Junkrat as we come into point B here. On the side of the defense, we do have both their DPS ultimates ready, and Hairball open things up with the big 4K barrage. He said, the water is fine, come on.
The thing that you can count on from Hairball is excellent ult placement. His positioning is always going to be huge to get big value off of stuff like that. So definitely something we're going to have to be aware of. Hairball just keeps going off on the Farah right now.
Oh, look at Cryo. Cryo in this cheeky position right above the Saga's front line here, and he drops that tire down, finds both supports. No more healers standing on the side of Saga. With that, they are beating a quick retreat, running for... Now, the good news for Guardians fans is they've done it using 1 ultimate each time. So they still have 4 ults in the bank. The other side of the fence, though, Saga coming in, storming through that far left side. From the attacker's point of view, they have 5 ultimates online and ready to go. Mine's coming out early inside that cave, and they're going to try to aggress on the point. Diva Bomb comes out from the other side. Goldfish able to pick off the baby Diva as she dropped that mech. She falls right out of the mines, and the Diva is gone. But Raven countered back, getting that kill onto Android Gamer. Overlord goes down, and it is still Saga with the 1-man advantage. We have the Ant Matrix on the side of Guardians here as they look to turn that tide back around. King of Raven finding the kill onto the other side. Saga trying to push in here with no more main tank. You do have Game Ruler in that back line of the Tracer trying to flip this thing back around, and he does pick up 1. Goldfish finds a kill of his own. And Guardian's not out of hot water here just yet as Saga is keeping the pressure on. Android finds that kill onto the Pharah. Hairball goes back into spawn. Immortality Field coming out, trying to stabilize here for Guardians with Cryo. Kate coming up with a good headshot onto Gamer. Rez coming through onto that Pharah. Hairball back into that battle, and it does look like Guardians are finally able to stabilize here on point B. Man, that was a close one.
Props to CryoQuake there. If you don't take out Android there, one, he's going to keep farming that ult and get even closer to Deadeye, and two, he's got a chance to possibly wipe your team and maybe even win this match right then and there for DickDicks.
Well, Hurl's going to try to throw another barrage in, but does not have nearly the same amount of luck this time as he gets popped out of the sky by Android Gamer. But Overload coming in, getting some revenge kills for his flying friend. Able to find two with those mines, and they're going to get the res back onto Hairball. Guardians back at a full 6-man strength roster here. Saga once again, one of those quick resets.
It'll be interesting to see how well that coordinated attack from off tank and support and DPS goes going forward though.
Yeah, Overlord just waiting in the corner by that mini with that tire. He throws it down. He gets the D-Mech onto the D.Va, but doesn't find much else. Game Ruler going to try to throw Pulse Bomb down, hits it onto the Reinhardt, and with nothing left, Game Ruler able to get that final blow. The res coming through though, and Cryo Overlord answering back, finding the kill onto that baby D.Va, not allowing her to get back in the mech. Tintin's going to directly charge onto point. He gets a kill and tries to throw his hammer down, but the hammer gets blocked. Timmy throws down that D.Va bomb and finds one. Hairball comes up with the one as well, sending that Tracer back to spawn. And once again, Guardians holding on strong here. Their defense coming through in the clutch. Hairball
advantage with Hairball on that far and him on that McCree, but ultimately, I guess the value just wasn't there. So if you're Guardians, that's got to be a huge mentality boost if you pick that up.
Yeah, you have controlled the composition there, forcing that swap. And it can be difficult for McCree to find an opening here, because you have to get inside the walls to find that LOS, and by that time it's a little too late. You could already be in Pharah's sights. Now we just have 35 seconds left. No ultimates on the board here for Saga as they're trying to push in here. We got a barrage coming out from Hairball. Doesn't seem to find much. In the end, they are able to pick up that kill on Android Gamer and get a D-Mag onto Overlord with a little help from Game Ruler. Raven's in there swinging on his counterpart, as Tintin is forced to kind of fall back into that little area, and he's got to try to run, but he has nowhere to run to. The kill lighten up, and his time is ticking down, 10 seconds on the clock. Guardians finding time to get back in touch. They do have a Tracer there. Tracer was able to get that touch off. We're going to get the tire coming out, trying to find the Tracers. Chasing around. She's trying to dash around. The tire finds it in the end. Saga not able to get back to point. Guardians coming through with a big hold on defense. We have a tie.
We started out with a protect from the Fighting DickDicks. They protected Moira. Second time doing that, important to note. Second time for the Guardians as well, protecting Rhine. Rhine has been protected on all 3 maps thus far. Then we go to bans. We had a ban of Orisa coming out from Memento Mori and a ban of Bastion, which is, again, very similar to Anubis. The old adage of you know, offense wins games, but defense wins championships, and I think we're literally seeing a prime example of that right here, where I really do believe the better defending team is going to ultimately win out this series. Now, which team that will be, that remains to be seen, but I do think the better defending team will be the victors today.
Well, bearing that in mind, we are getting Guardians on the defense here to start us off. Looks like they are showing us some Reinhardt Sigma, as we had a Sigma ban last map, and they chose to ban the Orisa this map. They're going to
absolutely
bring our crazy scientist friend in here. They're also going to be using a Reaper and a McCree. Put the hurt down.
Absolutely, that's a lot of damage coming out.
That's a lot of damage. On the side of Saga, it looks like they're showing us a little pharmacy with a Tracer and that Reinhardt Zarya frontline that we have seen from them all night. With that, gates are open. We are underway. Let's get King's Row started here. Saga coming in, looking to path around statue. Just going right up main, going right up to the face of Raven there. And it is Cryo Overlord coming up with first blow.
That's a big start from the Sigma. Of course, Overlord, you know, still thinking like a DPS, I'd imagine. He went out and got that first kill, even on off tank.
Trying to control the positioning game here with that Pharah in the sky. Kind of force that team back into the corner. That Tracer's going to jump down, put that tension onto Cryo. Mr. Goldfish coming up with that final blow, but they lose their main tank in the process. Tanks down on both sides. Rez coming through here for Saga, though. No mercy on the side of Guardian, so it is Saga with the man advantage. Guardian's throwing that Ant Matrix down, trying to bounce back. But Game Ruler coming up with a big kill. Goldfish coming up with 3. And it is Saga picking up first point here with a quickness.
Everyone was kind of trying to follow up on Tenzin to kill him after he was rezzed, and really just in the backline, Goldfish popping off.
Where Android tries to go up into that hallway, and Hairball is just waiting for him with a pair of shotguns, finds a quick kill. They do manage to get that res off. Great play coming out of No Faith, managing to get that res without exposing the line of sight to that Reaper. And then Game Ruler coming back in and finding that kill. They're going to go ahead and drop a barrage down. Not much luck there thanks to the sound barrier coming out of Austin, but woo, a whole host of ultimates come out. We get the Pulse Bomb combined with that Earth Shatter. I'm sorry, combined with the Graviton Surge, with the Earth Shatter coming out from Guardians to try to defend, but it was not enough. Through here, we are going to get a late contest coming out of Guardians, and they come back, and Shatter comes out from the other side. Tenzin laying waste to the support line of the Guardians here, and they do drop at the back of that. Zombies trying to answer back, throws a Deadeye in the mix, and finds himself two, drops down and picks up another. Cryo Overlord finding a kill, but Game Ruler bouncing right back. Tenzin finding the kill, and a Hairball, no more DPS here for Guardians, and despite the best efforts of Zombies on that McCree, Saga able to find success and get that second point on the board. And Matrix coming out from the defense here as Guardians looks to hold. Game Ruler just casually walking around in their backline, finally decides to pull that trigger. Not able to get the kill. Goes in and throws the Pulse Bomb, trying to find the Reinhardt, but no such luck there. It is Android coming up with that kill, though, finding the blow onto Raven. No more Reinhardt standing here for Guardians as they start falling back to the end of point C. And Saga really riding the wave of this momentum here and now. Tenzin finding that final blow into Zombies. He was stuck in an odd corner. Now you've got a Barrage online. You've got Earth Shatter online. Late death coming through from skate action, but they are going to find that res. So both healers back on the board here for Saga as they're looking to close this thing out. Barrage coming out. Finds nothing with the Immortality field. And yeah, Wicked actually able to get that kill through the Immortality. Tenzin does find the kill onto Raven. But they lose their Mercy. They lose Goldfish. Tenzin goes down from a nice shot from Zombies, who is swapped over to that Tracer. And it does look like in the 25th hour, less than 2 meters away from its final resting place, Guardians able to hold here on the defense.
Gets shattered by Tenzin. He's just laying there taking a full barrage to the face and stands up and walks away from it. It was, you know, a huge play from Wickedly Crazed. And then from there, now, I gotta mention, we've got Zombies on the Tracer now. That's what I've seen him play most of in the past. So I think that I've just been wanting to see this Game Ruler Zombies battle go down. So I hope we get to see that.
We had a good shatter coming out from Raven, but Goldfish countered back with a nice Graviton Surge. 2 kills coming through from both sides, but No Faith managed to get that res off. Nevertheless, they are still without their main tank and trying to push this thing through. They're going to go ahead and drop that Coalescence. Skate able to find 2 with that great ultimate. Are you kidding me? Holy cow. Good charge coming out from Raven, though, as he's looking to try to hold here. We have an Ant Matrix on the side of the defense as well, but Raven doesn't last long for this world. Tenzin's going to go ahead and throw an Earth Shatter down onto the remaining members of Guardians here, trying to hold this thing out. Android throwing down that barrage as well, and on the back of that, they will find that third point with just over 2 minutes and 30 seconds left on the clock. All right, Saga going on the defense here as they look to hold, take the 2-0 lead here off the back of that great assault, and so far they are holding on.
It's been all Android Gamer thus far. McCree, it's been all McCree thus far. Even Hairball on the Memento Mori side getting into the mix as well. But all McCree on the kill feed, whether you're Dick Dix or Memento Mori.
Well, good Annie to start things off right onto that Reinhardt. They're going to go ahead and throw the bubble on there to clean him up. Turn their attention onto Raven on that front line. He gets whittled down super low, but the healing coming through. Wicked right on point. Oh, but eats a fire strike. That Ana goes down. Hairball had dropped as well. The Mercy busy trying to res as the Ana drops. Now they are short a big healer. Hairball does counter back, but falls to a shot from Goldfish. In the end, it does look like Saga is standing tall here on point A. A little over 2 minutes and 30 seconds on the clock. Guardians does have quite a few ultimates coming online here for their next push, though.
Even getting Android Gamer back here before the fight can happen.
We are getting a swap out of Zombie as he is going to go over to that Reaper. McCree coming out from the other side. Android going to throw ahead that ultimate in. Patiently waiting, see if he can find anything. Hits nothing but a shield.
Big shatter.
Earth Shatter comes out and finds 5. What a huge shatter coming out of Raven. Are you kidding me? They couple that with the Graviton Surge just to be sure. Big ante on top of the whole pack. Look at all the assists on those kills. The whole team coming together and finding success. Saga sent back to quickness as fast as they could blink. They opened their eyes and they were all back in spawn.
That was a team fight. That was a team win if there ever was one. I think everybody get on in the mix. If you could have six people up on that kill feed for Memento Mori, I think they would have.
Yeah, that was an excellent play to get pushed through that first choke and get the ball rolling here on point B. Hairball is going to go down early. Good shatter comes out, finds 3. The Reaper, the Mercy, and the Zarya are all caught in that. Zarya goes down, Mercy goes down. Nice Coalescence coming out of skate action to follow up on that Earth Shatter. And Saga has pressed all the way back here into this entrance. Good hold coming out of them on point B. Not allowing that momentum to carry through. Yeah, huge shatter.
And Tenzin taking advantage there.
Yeah, just narrowly edging that Earth Shatter around, finding 3 and initiating that, shutting down that attack.
How did Hairball get back there?
I have no idea, but he manages to find that kill on his skate action in doing so, and that's a huge pick. He does give his life in the process. Blizzard coming out from the other side, and the members of Guardians can do nothing but stand and watch as the onslaught comes in from Saga. And despite the excellent flank coming out of Hairball, finding that key pick to open things up, Saga is holding on strong here in the beginning.
We have the opportunity to lose a couple fights on the final stage and still have a nice time bank, and they're losing a lot of that opportunity here.
Yeah, I mean, it's harder to push through point C than it is through point B. Earth Shatter coming out to try to open things up, but it's nothing but the shield of Tenzin. They're going to go and throw that nano boost onto him as well, but the Earth Shatter comes out the other way. 3 members fall to that hammer, and Raven is forced to back off and play defensively despite the fact that he is nanoed, essentially putting that to waste. Overlord is going to open things up with first pick, though. So Guardians have a little bit of a room. They have a one-man advantage as they're trying to push in. King Raven with a nice fire strike finds 1, but skate action countering right back. Throws Coalescence in, trying to keep his team topped off, but a good healing nade comes out from Wicked. They are not phased by that Coalescence, and Guardians able to find some space here on point B finally and get this cart a-rolling.
Not a moment till you've got a Deadeye online from Android Gamer. You've seen what he can do with McCree.
Well, and they've got that Graviton Surge, which is coming out directly. Austin's going to go ahead and throw his sound barrier down to keep that team topped off. Graviton Surge coming out from the other side, and Hairball, you nailed it, coming up with a big Deadeye. 2 people fall to the Cowboy. He's not done. He's looking for more. Finds the 3rd onto No Faith, and that opens this thing up wide as they are going to march this thing right on in, pick up that 2nd point. They are already behind in the time bank set up by Saga, but they have a little bit of momentum on their side.
Absolutely, and I guess I was only half right. I expected a big Deadeye, but it was in fact Hairballs. And now a little revenge from Android there, just a solo Deadeye onto Hairball himself.
Just to make sure and send that DPS back, Goldfish coming up with a big pick of his own. So 2-man advantage here for the defense. Yeah, fantastic wall coming up. And Saga.
You saw the idea. It didn't quite pan out for him, but they're no worse for wear for it. So I mean, great.
And it was even mentioned in chat, and I'd have to agree with Headrammer on this. I love this May pick coming out of Game Ruler. I think it is a great option here to try to counter with the offense that Guardians is bringing. Here we go, another good May wall coming out as they try to isolate the Reinhardt, and they throw a Blizzard out and divides them up. Only the Lucio is caught in the Blizzard itself, and it forced the Reinhardt into this weird angle. Saga recognizes it and pounces right on top of him. And with that, the focused fire coming through, they quickly rack up 3 or 4 kills, and Guardians forced.
Yet it was the Maywall before the Freeze Heaven came out that already had begun the process of separating Guardians, and that really,
absolutely,
with them running that Reaper, that's what you're going to want to do.
They're running right into the same thing again, and Raven's going to couple it with it, but try to answer back rather with an Earth Shatter, and he finds success with it. Hairball drops another nice Deadeye, finding 2, make that 4, as he follows it up with 2 good shots onto the Zarya, finds the head of the May, and Hairball once again coming in clutch here for Guardians as they round this last corner. They can see the yellow box.
As my friends in England would say, the stones on Hairball. He literally walked out into the middle of the team fight when he hit that Deadeye. It was pretty brazen.
And once again, I mean, Zombies coming back and doing the same thing. Tenzin trying to throw down an Earth Shatter, finds a little bit of success with it, but Tenzin drops in with a nano boosted Death Blossom and finds 2. And it just makes easy cleanup from there. Tenzin trying to charge back in the point, but it's not going to be enough. But they did finish with less than a minute on the clock. So we'll
Look
get
how
a
fast Tenzin, how close Tenzin was to there. If they had killed Tracer any slower, that would have still been a contest for the Dig-Digs. A game of millimeters and milliseconds. It proves true time and time again. That was super close on the contest there from Dig-Digs.
Guardians going to the Reaper May combo themselves here as we get the McCree May combo out of Saga on the defense. Both
I've
teams
applied it to
running
my
Ryan
own
Zarya.
play as well. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. And if they haven't figured out a way to counter it, don't switch off of it. And that's exactly what Game Ruler's doing here. Ooh, but a May of their own from Hairball.
Yeah, and he puts up a nice wall to start things off. They're going to find the freeze onto Tenzin, but Raven drops as well. No more main tanks on either side. Zombie tilts the battle in their favor, though, as he finds the kill onto Goldfish, and Skate action falls as well. The res comes back through on the Reinhardt, and Zombies goes down. So Guardians have not quite gotten themselves out of hot water just yet, but the Ryan and Mercy were both low. Ryan and Mercy both fall. Android Gamer goes down as well, and after a little bit of stall coming out of this May, they should get point A flipped over, get that 4th point on the board, but they are in overtime. They must babysit that cart.
Positioning and awareness coming out from No Faith on that Mercy. Even in loss, yeah, you got to give props where props are due.
Absolutely. I couldn't believe that res got off either. Now it is going to be Tenzin opening things up, finding first blood onto Hairball here. No more main. He was 91% towards that ult. That's a disastrous loss. They're going to go ahead and throw Coalescence in as well.
Jeez.
Oh my goodness. With the Graviton, they somehow managed to get him off point. That I would love to see a replay of that. Somehow, Saga manages to force the members of Guardians off that objective. Well, now it's Saga's turn.
The win condition is set. You're absolutely right. Saga's got a nice time bank and not far to trek.
5, 4, 3.
They're going to be bringing us some Tracer fire here on the offense. Reinhardt, Zarya as well, as they look to come in here and take the 2-0 lead. Now, this is a 1st to 3, so it would not close us out, despite the fact that we are on map 3. On the side of the defense, we're getting Ryan Zarya out of Guardians here. They got the Hanzo May here to try to hold things off. They have 3 minutes to hold, lest they go down here in our Tier 3 finals. Saga coming in, pathing around main. Nice May wall comes out to try to split off that Reinhardt. They're not able to quite find the kill in the back of it as the bubbles come through, able to keep him alive, healing there for him as well. And now Goldfish is just charged to the heavens. 90 on that Zarya beam as they look to turn it into the heart of Guardians. They did throw that Immortality Field up, but they no longer have that cooldown. And with that, I think it is Guardians' time to attack in. No, that smaller shield of Reinhardt gets whittled down. They don't quite find an opening. There's the opening they were looking for. 3 kills, quickly light at the feed. Big Earth Shatter comes out from Tenzin and lays waste to the other 3 members of Guardians. And they quickly get this point A. They've got a little over 2 minutes on the clock. Of course, we are in that overtime phase, so they will not get any additional time, but they can smell victory here on Kings Row. They are standing on the victory square. They've got 2 DPS ultimates to help them do it with. Nothing here. Coming up on an Earth Shatter, not much, so to speak of. For the side of Guardians, they've got that Ant Matrix as well, but they're going to open up with early. See if they can find an early pick. See if they can draw first blood. Earth Shatter coming out, but it lands nothing but the shield. Actually, it did find 2 past that shield. It looked like it got blocked.
I don't know how.
It did find 2 somehow. I didn't think it did. And nevertheless, though, in the end, it is Saga finding a couple kills to open things up. You've got no more Reinhardt, no more Baptiste here for Guardians as they've got to try to push and install this thing out. And they're missing 2 super important characters. Hairball goes in and does find the kill onto Tenzin, but he gets taken out, and the res comes back in onto that Reinhardt. Guardians here with all 6 members, and you just have a wrecking ball.
This could be it.
Or Saga had all 6 members, and they are going to take Kings Row and a 2-0 lead here in our Tier 3 finals.
This is way too close to be a 2-0 match at the moment, but honestly, just a lot of coordination and cohesion coming out from the Dig-Digs. They're playing like a team that's had to weather a few storms coming through this tournament. You know, that even if they do win, we are in a double elimination tournament. So if I'm not mistaken, that does mean that Guardians actually do get another crack at the Dig-Digs if the Dig-Digs win this match. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, Bullskunk, but I believe that we are doing the actual double elimination style as opposed to the Overwatch League double elimination style that they did where Vancouver didn't get a chance to challenge San Francisco Shock again.
No, you're absolutely correct. if Saga does manage to pull off this victory, we will get a rematch of this to actually determine the finals, as it is a true double elimination and Guardians have not been defeated. After reviewing the rules, it looks like both your casters made an improper assumption in that...
I know, I'm shocked as you are. I'm just as bamboozled as you are.
We make mistakes too, but hey, the important thing is how you own up to them, and that's what we're here to do, and to tell you that playoffs are a best of 4. So with us being at a 2-0-1 right now, Guardians do not have the opportunity to come back and win this match, giving Saga the victory and handing Guardians their first loss of this tournament. And I think it's important to note, Guardians only dropped 1 map in total coming into this match. And Saga able to take 2 maps off of them and take the victory here